our agent explained it to me, so I understand it, but it was quite scary because I was sitting here in Florida with no coverage.
I think we're onto something good. I think we're onto something good. Don't let it get away. This could be everything. You know what I gotta say. I think we're onto something.
Welcome back, fellow adventurers. We just had a tad bit of emergency. We're actually on our way to go watch the rocket launch tonight at Cape Canaveral, where they're launching Falcon Heavy, and we would have been there a couple hours ago, except Dawn found out some very scary information. In fact, almost to the point of being an emergency. What happened?
So basically I was checking our bank and making sure that all our bills were paid, and I noticed that our insurance hadn't been taken out, and so I looked on the policy and our insurance was canceled without notification based upon our garaging. And our garaging, for those of you who travel full-time, is not necessarily a permanent house because you're in the RV and we RV full-time. So I've just spent the last 3 hours on the phone with 3 different insurance companies, and even though the state of South Dakota is saying it's okay, obviously the insurances are not aligning with the state's laws and rulings, and so we were canceled because our address is a personal mailbox.
So that's an emergency.
That's an emergency.
So if you don't know it, if you're full-time RV and you have some of the insurance companies, we highly recommend in this emergency situation that you check and make sure that you actually have your insurance coverage first. They didn't take our money. They didn't tell us. They didn't notify us. There wasn't even an email. They sent a letter to our South Dakota post office mailbox. Or maybe with notice, I don't know. We haven't seen the letters because they're where?
In South Dakota, in the snow, and I'm not. So thankfully our agent, and actually, long story anyways, our agent explained it to me, so I understand it, but it was quite scary because I was sitting here in Florida with no coverage. And when you have a brand new rig and you have a $100,000 truck, because of, transportation needs, you've got to have coverage, especially down here with the hail and the storms and the drivers, and there's lots of people down here. Make sure that you have the right coverages for what you need.
And how do you do that? How do you make sure you got it all covered?
By going into your policy on your apps or your binder and looking and making sure that you're fully covered. You want to make sure you have comp and collision. You want to make sure you have an insured motorist. You want to maybe you need medical attached to that, because there's a lot of uninsured drivers out there. So this was quite scary, and it looks like it all started happening about a month, 45 days ago when this all started coming down. So it's probably not every insurance, but it's at least the top 6, and that was explained to me today. So if you have any questions, leave them below, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can.
Yep, as always, leave comments. Again, this is what we deemed an emergency because we were driving around uninsured, and that's not
acceptable in Mom's world. Not acceptable.
Yeah, thanks for saving me there, Don. So again, please check and make sure, and then stand by for some other videos about launches and rockets and boost backs and Falcon Heavies and things like that. So we just want to get this out there as quickly as possible.